Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Following on from yesterday's exciting announcement from Universal, we've decided to do a bit more of an in-depth video looking at the concept art that was released. We've managed to get our hands on a better quality version of the photo as well, so we can zoom in and see some bits that we couldn't quite make out before. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So yeah, sort of starting at the beginning really. Looks like to us that there's here turnstiles, or at least the security area where you'd have your facial recognition and stuff. I think what was quite interesting to us is that this is before the archway.
Yeah.
Because when we went to Florida, that's after you go through the archway, you then go through all of that process. But you don't see any of that after the archway here. So it's nice to see that sort of at the front, and then you can get into the park and sort of take your pictures and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, obviously it's laid out differently because we've got UK's different to Florida.
Yeah.
So they've got, to me, it looks like we're looking at the security measures and bag
checks and all that sort of thing. Yeah,
before entering the
sort of
Universal
ball area.
Yeah.
And then moving forward from that, you've got this nice circular courtyard area where you can see the Universal globe. It looks like it's in this nice little water feature as well. They'll be very good for some photographs when you're entering the park, especially with that archway behind it. Off to the right, you've got this sort of I don't know, it looks sort of golden, but it's the lights I feel like coming from the windows in this building.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be anything. It could be a restaurant, it could be guest services. I think it might be something more corporate though, like for corporate events where they could host sort of events and stuff like right in front of that globe. I think that'd be a really sort of cool idea for that.
Yeah, that would be, like you said, it's got a really nice view if like you said, where the gold effect, which would be...
It looks like windows, doesn't it, with lights coming through.
That would be an amazing view to have over the
globe.
The globe,
and
entrance
to the park.
At the side also, you've got the arches to look at as well. This is very minimalistic and does look like a really nice view to look at out of the windows. Yeah,
and then sort of next to that, to me, this area sort of here looks like where you'd have your lockers or your buggy sort of pushchair pickup sort of area, like with
probably the more guest services for
guest services and things like that. Yeah,
first aid possibly.
Yeah. And then if you look to the left of the courtyard area, there's this really big sort of square building. That is attached to the hotel, which we'll go into a bit more in a minute. But if you look at it, there's no windows on the back side of it, like around here, which you can see the rest of the hotel in the image does have like windows and things. So to me, that could be some sort of corporate area again, maybe, or an events hall. I mean, I think you were saying like even could be a swimming pool or something.
Yeah, it could be a indoor swimming pool, like I said, for hotel guests.
Yeah.
Because as we go around the map, there doesn't indicate much of like mini water rides or anything like that.
No,
so
I mean,
it would be nice for hotel guests to have that sort of swimming
facilities,
opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, we are talking about the UK, and with the weather we have, I mean, I wouldn't have too many outdoor water parks, but it could be an indoor water park area. It could, like I say, it could be an events hall or something, but it's definitely got that facade and it's attached to the hotel, so it's...
I want to go with swimming.
Yeah.
The swimming pool for the hotel guests, but, well, only time could tell.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on, then you've got that iconic archway that you see in some of the parks, like in Florida and in Hollywood studio, or the Hollywood one. So it's really nice to see that back. I think in the Beijing park, they've actually built the hotel as the archway, so you sort of go through that. But yeah, it's nice to see that the archway's returned like that. I can see the sort of pendulum hanging down that they have for Halloween Horror Nights, which has been patented by the Universal Corporation
Yes,
here in the UK.
was
So
Halloween Horror Nights.
Halloween Horror Nights could be a thing here, yeah. So that'd be nice to see that as well. So moving through the archway, we then come to this circular courtyard. I think it mirrors the previous one quite nicely with the globe, and then there's another water feature here. So again, that'll be quite nice looking through the archway to see that water feature. My first sort of impressions is it's sort of like a port of entry that you have in Islands of Adventure in Orlando, whereas you sort of come through and you've got the shops and there's a few places to eat and things. But this looks like a bit more grand scale, a bit more Mediterranean theme, and with that tower in the middle there. Definitely looks like there's a lot of shops on the right hand side, mixed with some dining, I reckon, in there. Definitely a lot of greenery as well. There's a lot of trees. It's nice to see that in the park. I think as well down here you've got that'll probably be where your first aiders and things sort of tucked away there. Then, as you can see on the left hand side, it's a very expansive hotel. They have said it's 500 rooms, I think they said in the press release. I mean, you can see the car park there at the front, and then the entrance to the entrance to the hotel here. But yeah, you can see how many floors there are like planned to be. It's going to be a very big hotel. I can see there being some amazing views into the park from that hotel, like especially over the lake, seeing into the park at night with all the rides going. I mean, even potentially a nighttime show or something that could be over the lake. We've seen Universal use drones before. That'd be really good to see. That's something we was sad we missed out on when we went, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The movie sort of light show they did.
Yeah.
But that'd be great to see something like that here. Again, on the main street sort of area, you can see there's this large building off to the side. We'll talk a little bit more about that later because we're going to go clockwise around the lake, and we'll talk about that when we get back. So yeah, if you look down the end of the street, there's these sort of circular areas that look like viewing areas to me. They also look on their different levels as well. So you can get some nice views over the lake, especially if they do some sort of nighttime show. I think that'd be pretty cool. There's what appears to be some water features. They might not be, they might be something else, but for now they look like water features, sort of here and here to me. Nick doesn't agree, but
I don't know what they are,
but they're definitely something. Yeah. They're in there for a reason. But it also looks like there could be a possible seating area over here. Again, looking out over the lakes, that'd be quite nice to look over there as well. Moving on clockwise around the park, got our first sort of attraction area. There looks to be where the blue and red sort of area is here. Our first ride. It looks sort of like a balloon ride. It's just sort of one of those spinning sort of rides. That sort of indicates this area to us as more of a child-friendly, family-friendly sort of area.
Yeah, younger years.
Yeah. And then moving on over here, this looks more like an interactive walkthrough or sort of child's play area, similar to sort of what they've done in Shrek Swamp in Universal Studios.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look the same on here, but it could be something similar like that. Not quite sure what sort of intellectual property it could be, but it gives us that sort of vibes that it's more of a walkthrough than an actual ride. Then just below that, we're not quite sure what this is.
No.
People online,
go on.
People online have been saying that it's like a teacup ride. I can see where they'd get that from, or a splash pad.
Yeah, I thought it was like a splash pad for like similar to like the lily pads in Shrek, but more water parked.
Yeah, or like the Kung Fu Panda sort of area, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I don't feel like the UK weather would benefit that at all. So I think it's more something like the frog pads that they had in the Shrek Swamp, more of an interactive area than a splash pad. Like,
they were fun.
They were fun. You were jumping around on them for a while.
Yeah.
I had to pull you away from them. But yeah, so we got that. That's definitely an area. I don't think it's like a seating area or anything. I think it is some sort of interactive area. And then we have a show building just below that. It's quite a big area. Again, there's no clues to what it is. It looks colourful. That's as much as we can really get from it. I mean, I'm sort of thinking this area might be more DreamWorksy, like Trolls and...
Yeah. For Trolls, I'm not seeing many overly bright colours other than the blue and red hot air balloon ride.
Yeah.
If you remember when we went to Trolls, it was very vibrant blues, it was very vibrant pinks, purples, just neon stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean this is just the first concept art, and we don't get to see what's on the front of this building.
No, they've done it very strategically.
Yeah, they've definitely chosen which angle we're looking at. So, but yeah, I mean, it's all sort of speculation at the moment. But from what they have, I would think this would be more the DreamWorks area, like in studios. So, but yeah, well, we shall see. So next we have this amphitheatre sort of area, which goes out onto the lake. I could see that being for a lot of shows and maybe some musical events
Live
as well.
Music,
there could even be a certain stage show that they have there, like you have with the stunt shows and things. It could be something similar to that. We don't quite know because again, there's nothing to indicate what it could be for. It's just we can see the seating and sort of a stage over the lake, really. But yeah, next to that we have this courtyard area. Now there's a lot of speculation online about what this could be, but what we can see is we can definitely see there's a square courtyard with some buildings and facades around it, probably for retail and for dining as well. Then you've got this sort of bigger, grander building, which could be the entrance to this humongous looking roller coaster. So what we can see is it's a multi-launch roller coaster with a huge spike down here at the back. That is huge. We can't get a complete size scale for that, but to me that looks like it could compete for the tallest roller coaster in the UK, beating Hyperia. Like I say, there's multi-launch roller coaster. It's got what looks to be 2 or 3 inversions, a couple of switch tracks as well. So I think that's definitely going to be a thrill ride to contend with some of the other roller coasters in the UK.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's got something going on, and like especially you coming out here and then probably exiting or re-entering. Sorry, back there.
Yeah. So a lot of the rumours online is, and I can see it fitting. A lot of the rumours online are saying that this could be a Back to the Future area, with this courtyard area being where the clock tower is. Obviously, would have left that out of the concept art until they release that officially. I can see it fitting. I mean, can you imagine going 88 miles an hour down that track?
Yeah.
And to me, like the spike could be when the car goes up in the air and sort of disappears a bit.
Yeah, to me, I can see it because over, like you said, down here you've got the courtyard. You can make it look more towny. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got your shops. And,
I would personally love to see the Cafe 80s in there.
Yeah.
And them serving you those futuristic Pepsi bottles that they had in the film.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really cool idea.
Like, you never know. Down here you could have the scorch marks where he goes back into the future.
I mean, it's along this road.
Is it?
In the film, yeah. Because the clock tower is here, and then they have the line that comes down, and then they drive this way, which is why I like the idea of where the roller coaster's going past the clock tower.
I apologise. I thought they were going down the road.
Yeah, no, the road goes this way.
Okay.
But yeah, that's neither here nor there. But I think that'll be a really good idea. I thought that was what was missing from Universal Studios when we went last. I liked the Simpsons Land, but I mean, I missed the ride, the old Back to the Future ride. So seeing it coming back in such a big way would be amazing.
Very nostalgic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving forward again around the park, we come to this bridge, sort of here, linking up the two lands. And to me, with there being a bridge and there's some water off to the left of that as well, it could be something like you see in Epcot where the bridges raise up and then some floats come in, and then that could be part of the show.
Yeah, so possibly these trees might not actually be there. It could be more of
it's just sort of window dressing, isn't it?
Yeah, a staging area for floats to come in and release fireworks, drones.
Yeah, like you see sort of the Water Spectacular sort of show at Epcot where they come through and then go onto the lake and obviously drive around and do a really cool show. So yeah, that's just so I just saw the bridge and just thought that'd be a cool idea if they did have something like that. Again, looking at the bridge, there looks like what could be an archway here, which would be amazing, because what we feel this next area is, looking at the styling on the roofs and how big the show building is as well, we think this could be a Jurassic World area
/ park.
Well, I think it'll be Jurassic World with the ride. Do
you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'll be more like the newer buildings or newer park where in Beijing, where they've done a Jurassic World with the more modern films instead of the old Jurassic Park. But yeah, so we looks like we've got a couple of these rounder buildings here with the roofs. They could be sort of dining, retail,
quick services.
Yeah,
maybe.
things like that. So yeah, moving around to the back of this area, you can see there's a lot of these yellow roofed areas. They look like they are all connected up, sort of with those drawbridge style sort of play area.
Yeah, similar to the Count Cretaceous play park that they had for kids that we didn't get a chance to go to.
Yeah, but it looks like there's some slides here as well. It looks like it could be like
jungle gym
sort of area for the kids to sort of play in. But yeah, I think that could be tied into the Camp Cretaceous sort of Chaos Theory idea. And then we've also got these two large drop tower looking things at the back here. We've got 1 and 2. Not sure if they'll be drop towers like Doctor Doom's Fearful sort of style.
They could also be like the bungee type ones where they fling you up.
They could be, yeah. So we've got that in the back of the park. And then you have this very big, sort of dominates the whole park, show building. So it looks like there's an entrance just down here. I feel like this could be similar, if not identical, to the Jurassic World Adventure in Beijing, which just looks insane. Like, I wish they had that in Florida. When we went, that was just seeing that ride with the animatronics and all the details in it. It's amazing. So to have that come here to the UK would be phenomenal. Yeah, that's a really good word for it. So yeah, hopefully that's what's in that show building. It might be something different. There might be several different experiences inside that building. So it could just be that it's all to sort of keep it under a roof so that the weather doesn't affect anything. But it might be one ride. It might be several different rides. So yeah, we just have to see on that one. One thing I've noticed as well is there's a lot of shrubbery and trees and water features in this sort of area. There's a couple of palm trees here, and there's also some more around this way, sort of tying it into that tropical theme that you get with the Jurassic World areas in the other parks. I'm also really loving the look of this waterfall area in the middle.
Yeah, you've
with
got
the bridges,
nice
water features there, like the fountains at the top, and the bridges across. There's going to be some great photo opportunities from that. I think as well, looking at that from the other side of the park, where those circular areas were, which is going to look really cool with that water feature there. So then just over here next to that, there's another few buildings. Again, we're not quite sure what...
I think this building would be, like you said, if the larger building is Jurassic World, this could be the like what they have in Florida. You go in and you've got the Jurassic Park with the T-Rex skeleton.
Oh, you mean like the visitor centre?
Yes, the visiting centre.
Okay.
Thank you.
So to me, that doesn't look big enough.
No, not even a merch shop.
I mean, it could be like a merch shop or something, but the other three buildings down here are bigger than that one that you were looking at.
All right, sorry.
And it typically has like one big main dome thing. So I guess that would be what this sort of area.
Oh, okay.
Is to me. But I think there could be some sort of dining area, like dining experience, or I've heard some other people suggesting there could be like the meet and greets, like you get with Blue, or they did have an old one where they had a Triceratops sort of animatronic.
Yes, I didn't think of that. And
so that could be something that's housed in there. It could be like a sort of an encounter with a dinosaur or something.
Yeah. You never know. They could have something similar to what they're doing with the How to Train Your dragons, the little baby ones.
Yeah,
they
those
could have
animatronics. Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, they've definitely developed that technology now. So I mean, you could see stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it could just be a dining like place. It could be retail. It could be another ride for all we know inside there. But then yeah, moving to the sort of round the lake a little bit. You've got this group of buildings here. I'm not sure if they're still part of the same area or it could be part of the next area, but with all the shrubbery and the greenery and stuff, I think it ties in with the Jurassic World area, especially with all the palm trees at the top here as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's another building that could be again more retail. It could be more shopping.
Yeah.
Like, dining experiences.
I personally don't have any thought for that.
No, I mean for me it looks sort of similar to like they had like a restaurant Mythos in Islands of Adventure where it comes out onto the lake like that, so it could be something similar but in a Jurassic World sort of style. It looks a little like the building's overgrown a little bit with some of the greenery on it, so to me that sort of ties in with the Jurassic World area personally. But moving back to the park, there's another roller coaster. This time it's all green.
She lengthy.
Yeah, she goes on for a while, so it takes up a lot of space at the back of the park. It stretches out over this whole area
and onto the lake. Even
out onto the lake, yeah. But to me, it looks like there's a lift hill, sort of similar to like on the Hulk. Sort of up here.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure how it all ties in. There's
also another lift hill there?
I think that just goes round and then, but I'm not sure. That's what I mean. It doesn't give you too much detail, but yeah, there's definitely a few inversions on it though from the look of it. Coming out here over the path, it looks like there's a few inversions. And then you've got this sort of helix shape over the lake as well. All looks really exciting. Looks like it'll probably be quite fast.
I feel like down here, when you sweep round the water, it'll squirt up like they do.
Oh, like the water
jets
and stuff roll. Sometimes, yeah. That'd be
the Velocicoaster.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool.
Like you're skimming the water.
I do feel like there's this sort of viewing area down here as well.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get some amazing photos and videos of that roller coaster going by.
Yeah.
That'll be quite fun. Going back up to the sort of roller coaster area, we've got this large building here. No idea what that could be, I'll be honest. It's big enough that it could be a ride, it could be a show building, there could be like like a show in there. A lot of people are suggesting this area could also be Wicked related because of all the green on the roller coaster and on that building. It could tie in, but
Nothing's been announced.
Nothing's been announced, so it's all speculation at the minute. I think it would be nice if it was all just one big Jurassic World area. I'm not quite sure how that would fit in with the Wicked next to it, but
yeah, I think that would be a bit of a stark contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's going to be fun no matter what. That roller coaster looks
amazing.
So I can't wait to jump on that. So yeah, let's go up to the top of the park now. There's this big sort of stunt show, amphitheatre, stadium looking thing. It looks very similar to the Waterworld stunt show that they've got in other parks. I'm not sure sort of how relevant that is anymore though, because it's a very old IP. There's been talks of it being a James Bond sort of area, a stunt show this time. I don't know how that would tie in with the water and the pyrotechnics like that, but I'm open to it. The Bourne Stuntacular blew my mind when we went to watch that.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah.
If they can do something on par with that here with James Bond, I'm all for it completely. So we'd have to wait and see to see what that area is. I mean, for all we know, that could if that is a Jurassic Park area, that could even be like the Mosasaur jumping out and something happens.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like you just don't know. It could be anything.
It could be anything.
Yep. So yeah, we don't know until we see the announcements. We won't know what that is, but it looks exciting. I'll definitely go and see whatever it is. So yeah. I'll give that a watch. Moving back down towards the centre of the park a bit, we have where the path comes round. We notice there's a couple of sort of shade areas. It looks like there's some tarp that goes over the path there as well. Yeah. I mean, it's good to see there's shade areas in the park. It's always needed, I think.
Especially in the summer.
Even here in the UK in the summer, it's always welcome.
Just in spring, like the last few days have been amazing.
Yeah. And then back down to the lake, like we sort of touched on before, there's this sort of viewing area, it looks like, multi-layered. It looks like there might be a bit of a roof here over what looks like a path underneath it. It's quite hard to tell. I mean, it looks like there might be some umbrellas, so it might even be sort of like
extra seating,
or even like, I don't know, maybe a bar or restaurant or something. But again, we'll have to wait to see what that is. Path sort of splits and goes back up into a new area, which is, I think, quite controversial what people think it is. So initially everybody is expecting it to be a Harry Potter sort of Wizarding World area.
Yeah.
But I think Warner Brothers won't give them the rights to that in the UK, considering they have their own Warner Brothers studio tour 40 minutes drive away from this site.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll have the rights to that in the UK. A lot of speculation online is that it's going to be a Lord of the Rings area. I'm not quite sure on it. I love Lord of the Rings, and I will be there in a heartbeat if it is Lord of the Rings. I'd love it to be Lord of the Rings. It's just hard for me to see how that would sort of fit into a theme park in a sense.
Yeah.
There is this sort of like tower and sort of building here. And there's another bit there. We've got a bridge going over into it as well from the looks of it, over some water. The sort of shrubbery around the area looks like it could fit in with the Lord of the Rings sort of elven themed. But again, I think they're keeping a lot of that area sort of under wraps at the moment. Like I think they've purposefully not put a lot of detail in that area, especially when you look at this other building at the back here. It's a very, very large show building, which to me means a very big ride there. And the fact that there's nothing to indicate what it could be, I think they're purposefully trying to keep that under wraps.
Yeah.
They've sort of, if you look at it as well, it's darker there than it is wherever anything else is. It's all quite light in the other areas of the park. Yeah. So I think they're trying to keep that area under wraps as what that could be. There's also a lot of land around it as well that could be other things. So we'll have to sort of watch this space on that, I think. But yeah, we'd love it to be a Lord of the Rings area.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I'm not seeing it. Like you said, there's a lot of shrubbery around it. I'm not with this bit here, like you said, and here it looks more castle-like than it would say Hobbiton or
Rivendell or somewhere like Bree or something like that, the tavern.
Yeah,
but
it's not even given the woodland realm.
No,
it's Mordor.
Yeah, like I said, I think they're purposely trying to keep this area secret as to what it is. It's sort of like just tucked away there, and they haven't put too much detail in.
It's going to be something that they haven't done before, or it wouldn't just be so.
Yeah, I think we can agree it's something they haven't done before.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to sort of wait and see what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Next area looks to be pretty much a carbon copy of the Illumination Pier at Beijing with all the Minions area. It just screams Minions to us. And I think a lot of other people online as well. You've got sort of like the theatre at the back here. This over here looks like it could be the Minion Mayhem Despicable Me ride. You've got this coaster looking track on the roof of this sort of pier in the middle.
See, I actually thought that was the track. It took me a while to actually comprehend that this was actually on top of a building. Yeah.
So they've done it in Beijing where it's sort of like a fake track.
Right.
But then there's sort of like a kiddie's roller coaster inside.
Oh, I see.
To me as well, when you look at this track, you don't see a car on there.
No.
Whereas all of the other roller coasters
have cars.
In this, you see cars. So there's one here.
Oh, I didn't see that.
There's also
I see the one there,
one down here, and on this one, there's another one there. So to me, not seeing the roller coaster, like the car on there, shows that it might be the sort of fake roller coaster facade on the roof with more of a kiddies ride inside. But yeah, all the buildings to me and all the path is all very colourful. It's very Illumination looking. Minions. I mean, even like this tall sort of peak building here looks like the Despicable Me sort of style pointy roof in Florida. I mean, we could see other things here as well, like the Secret Life of Pets maybe.
Like
there could be sort of in this sort of area.
I see it.
But yeah, it'd be nice to see. It's a nice big area for the kids to sort of explore. I think there'll be a lot of more food options. Like they've opened that Minions Cafe in Florida, which was quite nice, and like the ice cream sort of parlour as well. But yeah, you've got another building over here where there looks like there could be some other good views over the lake as well, and over the roller coaster. So yeah, it looks like a really fun area. So yeah, then sort of moving into this last area, it looks like there'll be a sort of restaurant overlooking the lake again. Not quite sure what it could be themed for. It just looks like it's more of a restaurant dining area to me than it's not going to be a ride or anything like that. In this area as well, you can see there's definitely a water feature. Maybe some sort of statue here in the middle. We're not quite sure really. There's definitely some sort of show building here as well. So that's the one we were talking about earlier when we were looking at the street. This show building here, to me, looks like it's part of that building. Not quite sure what this area could be. There's been talks of a Paddington the Bear ride or area. So I feel like this could be here. This building looks like it could be sort of thatched the way the lines are coming off on it. I'm not 100% on that though, but it's interesting. I'm not quite sure what it could be. There's nothing there to sort of really give it away, is there?
Not really, no. It's definitely kept under wraps.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a view of all these buildings from the front eventually. But yeah,
They don't want you to know.
No, I think the other thing we wanted to sort of touch on though is there's a lot of room for expansion.
Oh yeah.
So we have this big area sort of in between the Jurassic World and maybe Back to the Future area, and again near the Minions area, and where we were just talking about, there's another big area there as well. So there's a lot of room for expansion in this park. I think on the land as well that they've bought, there's more space for maybe another theme park. It depends on how big this goes, fits into it really, but they did have 2 areas highlighted for theme parks, so that'll be interesting to see. I mean, it could be sort of like in California with the Disney parks where there's one facing the other, so it could be like the Universal Studios and the Islands of Adventure next to each other. But yeah, we've got City Walk as well coming to this area. I think it's a very exciting park, really. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot to look forward to. We'll try to keep you updated on everything as and when it comes out. So yeah, make sure to like, subscribe.
Let us know your thoughts.
Let us know your thoughts as well. If there's anything you think could be coming to this park that we haven't mentioned, or even if you just want to voice your opinion, if you think we're wrong, if you think we're right, we'd love to hear it in the comments. So yeah, let us know. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.